So, welcome back, my fellow aggressive learners. So, we have been able to work on contact page and we've been able to work on about page. So, let's work on our poem page. All right. So, this is where we're going to have all the poems. Don't forget, we already fixed our header. So, what do? Let's look for it and replace it. We copy this and then we drop it here, right? That is what we want. Minimize it and then boom, we go. So where do we go? We go to our poem page, right? Good. So now we're going to place this page inside a section, all right? So we're going to copy one of it, one of it. We'll copy it, all right? And if we copy it, we're going to create a section. When section starts, all right? And when section, right? So now we're going to call it section, all right? So inside this section, we can place this, right? We can place this. Don't forget, you can also use div to do a whole lot of what you do, all right? Good. Now that we have this, right? We have this is one poem. We can go ahead before this thing and create what we call categories. Categories. Let's create H1 tag and then call it categories. When okay, my poetries. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm writing about, but I know I'm just doing it. So now, inside these categories, what I want us to do is to list. We're going to list these headings. These headings. We're going to list these headings so that as many headings she has, somebody does not have to scroll down before they read anything. So what we want to do is we want to quickly do UL, right? UL, and then we want to do OL rather. OL, and then inside OL, of course, we have our list, all right? So inside the list, we want to have anchor tag, all right? So this anchor tag, now, are we missing anything? Okay, good. So this anchor tag, we're going to carry this heading, and put inside. All right, good. So that if somebody want to access this heading, you can just click on this and you read the heading. Is that okay? Good. Then let's assume that you have another person. You have another poem. Paste it here. You have up to 3 poems. We're going to have up to 4 poems on this page. All right, good. So the first one is How Do I Love You? Yes, the Nigerian factor. Knowledge and ignorance. The concept of environmental incubation. Environmental incubation. Please don't ask me what I'm writing. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to create stories because I don't do poetry. Now, now that we have this section, all right? Now, the next thing we can actually have extra of this section. Remember, it's two. So there's one by Michael. So we can actually copy this and create, okay, let's just create another of this section, poem 1. So call this poem 1, poem 1, end of poem 1. So we do this, call it poem 2, end of poem 2. Do you understand? Do you understand? So our image, let me take it and preserve it. Cut. So I'm going to delete this one, right? Just delete this one because we already have copied something here. So let me replace this. I don't know if it is correct or wrong. I just don't know. Okay, good, good, good. So now somebody will ask me, this thing that we did here, how would it help us? So we're going to make sure that the name here and the name on the second one is the same thing. All right. So that if we decide, let's create another poem, maybe poem 3. All right, with this, with all these topics. So this will now be ignorance and what? And sorry, this will now be ignorance and knowledge. So this will be poem 3, poem 3. All right. So the fourth one now. Let's go ahead and do the fourth one. So what do we do? The environmental factor. The environmental factor. The environmental factor. Sorry, I don't know what I'm speaking, but just understand it. Try and understand it. Alright? Good. Now, if you refresh this, please, I urge you to change these images. Alright? I know you can change it, get some nice, fine images, and make your changes. Alright? Make your changes. So now, I want us to be able to click this and it will send us to, let's say, to any of this last one. Let's say it will send us to this one. Now there's what we call ID and classes. I didn't teach you that because I want us to get to ID and classes. We're not going to talk about class. I want to show you ID first. All right. We're going to talk about more about ID and class when we start doing CSS. But for now, I don't want us to talk about it. So now I'm going to do what we call hashtag poem1. Then I'll do hashtag poem2. I'll do hashtag poem3. I'll do hashtag poem4. All I want you to remember is this, all these poem 1, poem 2, poem 3, poem 4. So here we're going to have an ID, and we're going to call it poem 1. All right, so I'm going to copy this because I'm lazy and close this one and then come to this place, open. Inside H1, all right, I'll paste it. So this will be what? Poem 2, right? Should we test what we're doing? Yes, let's test and see what happened. So we have refreshed, right? This is supposed to send us to to poem 2. Remember, poem 2 is what? Nigerian factor. Watch it. Isn't it? Nigerian factor, right? Good. So let's complete it. Let's go to poem 3. Close, we paste, we change it to what? Poem 3. Good. Then we close again and settle poem 4, right? So we paste and change this to poem 4. So what is happening here is that this href is targeting this page, poem one, this poem one. Now, this this hash means in the same location. Look for this thing inside the same file. That is what it's simply saying. Look for this particular thing. I'm clicking. Look for it inside the same file. So when you see hash, that means it's pointing to the same file. It will never redirect to another location, but inside the same file. So now, if you save all this, go to the top and then go to the top. If you hit on concept of this, it should take you down. Do we have good business? Did we just do good business and all that? Don't bother about this, how this HTML is looking. I know you can actually use a table and make this thing, they will look more beautiful, but that's a lot of stress. I don't think it's necessary. We now have CSS that you can use to manipulate this page and they will look amazingly beautiful, all right, using CSS and all that, all right. Using CSS, you can make them look amazingly beautiful. So what are we missing here? We are missing our footer. Let's go and copy our footer. And our footer, we have it in contact. Do we? Yes, we do. So let's copy it, put it in poem, put it in poem. Let's do so let's have it copied, and then so we're going to copy this and more of this bracket, and then where don't we have it? We have it in contact, about us. Yeah, we have it there. So in index page we don't have footer. So let's do this. Right, good. Good. As we progress, I'm going to show you how to manage all this header in just one folder, and you can actually call it from anywhere and all that. So for now, we have all our pages set. So close this and go here, then go here, go here, go here. Right. Now we're going to add one more file that we're going to work with, right? Before we finalize. So see you in the next class.